I'm State Representative Stacey Newman. I'm not a victim or a survivor of gun violence, but too many of my good friends across the country are. I became involved with this issue back in 2000 through the Jewish community, my Jewish community, after the Jewish Community Center shootings in Los Angeles. It galvanized Jews across the entire country, and almost every synagogue became involved in the Million Mom March in Washington, D.C. After the shooting, my own synagogue became involved, and I ended up leading a delegation of 60 of us from St. Louis to march. Many of us who didn't know much about the issue, except that it hurt. It hurt all of us after Columbine, the Jewish Community Center shooting. That day in Washington, D.C., with just thousands of others and those across the country having their own rallies, completely changed my life and my family's. At the time, my daughter, 6 years old, wrote to Rosie O'Donnell right before the march and went on her show and talked so eloquently as a first grader about guns and kids and why she was afraid of guns at her school. Like I said, that changed my life, my entire family's life. And I became involved in lobbying my legislature after the Million Mom March as we tried to pass more looser gun laws, and never expected this issue to have hit me so hard. I never expected to then run for office, and now I'm going into my 8th year in the Missouri State House and take the lead along with some chiefs and prosecutors and a few mayors on fighting this issue for our state. I want a president like Hillary Clinton, who has long made this a priority and who will make it and is making it now a priority because our statistics are just through the roof. Our epidemic is unbelievable. And too many people are losing their lives, and too many of my survivor friends around the country are shouldering this burden. And I can't let them do this alone because this affects every zip code, every type of family. I want a president like Hillary Clinton who went to visit the families affected by the Jewish Community Center shooting in Los Angeles as First Lady. She didn't do it in front of the press, but she did it because it was the right thing to do. And she and President Clinton were extremely involved in the Million Mom March and have been ever since. That's the president I want. President Obama, Vice President Biden are insisting, because of our skyrocketing epidemic, that we all make gun violence a priority, an issue, and how we vote and who we elect. So fortunate to be at the White House just a week ago with other legislators from 48 other states, including mayors, who are doing everything that they can, that they could think of, to save lives. This cannot fall on the back of my survivor friends alone any longer. And in fact, my daughter and I were so disgusted 16 years ago when a reporter asked us why we cared about this, since we weren't victims or survivors ourselves. We cannot, none of us can ignore this any longer. And I want a president like Hillary Clinton who has never wavered and is now working alongside so many survivors and organizations and legislators like me who understand that we cannot allow this continue. Gun violence hits too close to my own zip code, and I am not going to sit back and allow anyone else to be elected who doesn't understand the importance of gun violence. I hope that you will support Hillary Clinton. I have never wavered in my support for her and her efforts, even 16 years ago as First Lady, to address this issue and to do what we can. I cannot sit and wait for any more of my friends to become victims. And I cannot turn my head at the numbers coming out every single day in cities like St. Louis, my own city, and others across the country of innocent people losing their lives while the gun lobby profits. Can't do it. So I hope you will join me in supporting Hillary Clinton for president, because we drastically need her.